Alrighty. So welcome. Like I said, before we went live, we are no longer going to do efficiency on Mondays at 1. We are now changing it over to how to grow a team. And obviously, like, we'll focus on some on recruiting and stuff, but really, my passion is kind of building the morale within the team, and creating more of a family culture than just we all work here, we only talk business. Those things that just kind of when you come into a chat or whatever, however you talk to your team, even in just personal messages, and all you really care about is their volume, what's going on with their business, but you're never really talking to them about their personal life. You really just kind of create a divide for yourself and your teammates. So I want to talk about the importance of growing a family culture within your team. This is something that our team, I've been told, does pretty well. And I'll say we really are a family. Like, when I say we come to each other with everything that's going on in life, there's several of my team in here now, and they can vouch for what I'm saying. But it really is something that I was not ready for when I was growing a team, but I am extremely thankful and blessed by every single day. So Court has kind of talked about the 5 levels of leadership on Leadership Zoom, and then we have mindsets on Monday nights. So we were kind of talking about the thing, where's the middle ground between those that would be a good midday Zoom to do. So we're talking about teams and how you can apply leadership skills and mindset to create this ultimate team goal that everyone should have. So one of the big things that I do personally, thank you, Em. What I do personally when it comes to growing my team is, as soon as people join, schedule a welcome Zoom as soon as you can, especially if they're in VIP. Right off the bat, they need a welcome Zoom, a welcome call, however they feel comfortable. But get on one of those with them, with their upline, if you're their upline, obviously, but insert yourself however you can, and get to know them wherever they are. If they're your level 4 or 5, I don't care. Get to know those people that are going to be in your group chat. When I say that, I don't necessarily only mean work goals. My very first question when I get on a welcome call or a welcome chat, or sorry, a welcome Zoom or whatever, is tell me about yourself. Tell me about your background. Tell me about your family. Do you, are you married? Do you have kids? Do you work? Does your husband work? Do you have health conditions? Do other people in your life have things going on that are, might be a blockage for you? How's your family? Are they supportive? Just tell me everything that I could possibly need to know about you, and how it might affect your business ultimately, but how it may affect your mindset. Because this is something that when you start to invest in people and their lives independently, and you remember their kids' names, you remember their ages, you just remember to check in on them when it comes, you don't see them very active. Hey, Brianna, I know you've got a little one. How is that? Are you struggling? Is, she sleeping? Is she sick? I mean, there's times she's had a congestion, and M's kid too. Like, how is your child doing? Not just you, not just your volume, not just your reach outs. Obviously the RCMs and all that is very important. But at the end of the day, when you build those connections with your team and you know things about their lives, and you've got that friendship first and foremost, the rest will follow almost always. And if it isn't following and they're having a hard time, sometimes that relationship is what's going to keep them mentally in the game, because they've got that connection with you. They've got that connection with the rest of the team. And that's why I say, like, don't just make it you and them. It's a whole team, it's a whole family. They've got their sisters, their brothers, their cousins, the neighbors even sometimes join, and they're, it's what do they say? It's family, like it's the friend family. And that is something that is crucial when it comes to growing a team. When we're talking about the 5 levels, the first level is position. Anybody can have a position. You don't have to have skills necessarily to be given a position. You can hold that position without any knowledge, without anything like that. But level 2 is permission. And level 2 is where the relationships are built. So when it comes to those relationships, like I said, they grow morale and they grow that investment. It's more than just a financial investment at that rate. It is an emotional connection with your team as a whole. Like I said, not just you and them, but the whole team. And that's something that is vital. When you come in your chat in the morning and you say, "Good morning, guys, how are we doing today?" And somebody says, "Man, I'm having a rough day." And 5, 6, 7, 10 people come in and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you're having a hard day. I'm going to be thinking about you. I'm going to check in on you later." And they come back. That investment and people genuinely caring about other people is ultimately the goal we all want in our teams. And that is what we should all be seeking in growing a whole business, a whole downline, regardless of placement, regardless of how many levels deep these things run. Care about your team, know your people, and really just focus on their lives. So on these welcome calls, obviously, that's my first and foremost. That's what I want to know. Tell me about your life. Those things also, as they're telling you what they like, what they are involved in, are their kids in sports, that's going to also show you their pillars, their 5 things about them. I think Brianna's right here next to me, so she's the one I keep going to. But on our welcome call, it's like, what do you like? I know you're a mom, you've got a daughter. But aside from that, aside from just being a mom, what are the things you like to do? Brianna, you're going to have to forgive me because it's not knitting, it's not crocheting. I don't know the name of it. I had never heard of it before. It's a stitch, right? Some kind of.
It's called tatting.
Okay, tatting, not tattooing, tatting. But I had never heard of it. I didn't know what it was. I learned something, but I don't know if you're doing if you're into DIY or crocheting, stitching, whatever the case may be, that's going to tell you what their pillars are. They can go join those types of groups. That's going to show you how to help them and guide them into finding their people. She also told me she loves elephants, something I'll never forget, because I actually have a lot of friends that are obsessed with elephants. So I was like, cool, for an interaction post. Here's this baby elephant and this baby elephant. Which one is cuter? Like, there's so many things you can take. You can join elephant groups. They're out there. There's groups for everything, guys. But in learning on that welcome call who your people are and what their passions are, what they're all about, you can ultimately, take notes if you need to, whatever. But you can ultimately help them as they grow and as they learn and expand themselves, their personal development. If they've got a mindset thing, cool. Let's get you into this book because this is really going to help you. Or make sure you get on Mindset Mondays because that's really going to help you. They are about nutrition. Cool. We have a nutrition Zoom. Get on that one. You can be very specific in that welcome call, learning so many things about them and guiding them. And ultimately, when you do that with all of your team, not just one, not just, a handful or your level ones, even when you get really deep in that is when your team starts to grow that culture. I see one, my Emily Wilkinson's on here. We have a new promoter that's stationed where she is, another military mama. Cool, let me connect you with these people because I learned this about you and I know this about this person. Let's connect you guys and show, give you more investment in this, because when you've got those different levels of friendship, that investment, that's ultimately what's going to keep people in the game and grow your, not just a downline, but grow into a true team culture and a team atmosphere that you really ultimately want. So does anybody have questions on that? I know, like I said, I don't know why I'm nervous today. Like, I'm just changing the subject, I guess, but this is really something that I am passionate about. And I think our team, I don't know how other teams function, but our team specifically, we really have become a big family. So I look forward to showing you guys how we did that, and hopefully expanding that into these other teams and even your team, your future team that you're going to have, because at the end of the day, all of our goals are to become leaders and grow teams. So let's do
I
that the
have a
best way.
question.
Yes, Krista, go.
Do you do like your onboarding process before this happens, like giving them the links, the Zooms, or do you do that after you kind of get a feel for how they learn and how they do?
Typically after. I want to get to know them first, and
Right.
that I think when you show that you care about them as a person first, it's still overwhelming when we've got all these different resources that get thrown at them ultimately, but I think it's less overwhelming and in their face when they know that you first and foremost care about them.
Right.
And then, and in that welcome call, if you notice that they're more hands-on or they need visuals or whatever, then you kind of learn where to direct them first. You don't, maybe the answer is not throwing all the resources at them at once. If you think, the whole big team chat is going to be too much, just put them in your small team chat and give them a Trello link and just start to gradually show them how to ease into the water. But, you know how they are, and they're going to open up when you start to show them that you care about them as a person. They should ultimately open up and tell you, what they're looking for in this and how invested they really truly want to be. So yeah, I kind of get a feel for that first, and then get them on the resources. Does that answer? Anybody else?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Anybody else got questions in here? I'm always in the chat too. If you think of something later, feel free to reach out. Thanks. But like I said, this is where my passion is people. Ultimately, like, I love people. I'm very social. And I'm yellow. If you know the colors, I'm yellow as yellow can be. So I care about people and helping people get to know one another and build deeper connections. So love you guys. And I'm looking forward to all of this. So we'll get into the other levels kind of. I'm not going to just reiterate everything that Courtney says on leadership Zooms, but it does lead into productivity, which is level 3, and it does lead into people development, which is level 4. So we will start to ease into that in that direction in the future weeks. But like I said, I'm not trying to just straight piggyback off of her. We're going to talk about how to do that within our teams. So everybody, I appreciate you getting on, and I'm excited for the new subject. So thank you guys. We'll see you tonight, Mindset Monday. Don't miss it.